Welcome back to Mrs. Stewart's Crochet Club. Here we have our project of the day, this sweet little owl. It is made with double crochets, a little bit of embroidery, a few half double crochets, and a couple of single crochets. The materials you will need is scrap yarn. So I used 4 different colors plus white for the eyes, just a little bit of scrap yarn. You're going to need a size hook that is comfortable for you. I used 4.5 for mine, or US size 7. I wouldn't go bigger than this. Maybe I would go up to a 5. So because the bigger you go, the spacier the holes are, and because we don't want the stuffing to show through. So go for a 4.5, maybe 5 or less. You're going to need a darning needle, and you're going to need some stuffing and scissors and all those things. So join me. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. Please take a second to like this project, and I hope that you follow along. The first job is to make a slip knot. So I cross my yarn over itself, and I bring the loop through the back, and that's how I do my slip knot. Okay, tighten it up, and we're gonna start with a chain 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 chains. We're going to connect in a circle. So we're gonna go to the very first chain that we've made here, and we're going to insert into that spot and do a slip stitch. So insert through the first chain, grab the working yarn, and slip it on through. So you should have a circle-y type thing that looks like this. It might be hard to recognize that it is a circle, but you just kind of have to imagine. And if you pull it apart a little bit, you'll see that there's a little hole there. First thing, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Most of this pattern is worked in double crochet, so we're going to add to this 13 double crochets into the center ring. So you double crochet is yarn over, insert through that hole that you've made, and insert through the hole and pull up 1 loop. You should have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I'll show you that again. So we're going to yarn over, insert through the center, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. One thing to note that I am holding my tail string, I'm holding it with the working loop, with the work, so that when I crochet, I'm crocheting over it, and I can just cut it off in the end and not have to worry about weaving in ends. So I have 2, yarn over, in through the center, pull up 1 loop. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2 more. Keep going until you have 13 plus the starting chain, so you'll have 14 of these stitches in total, and then you're going to join, you're going to slip to join at the top. I'll meet you when you get back. Do 13 half double crochets all the way around. All right, so I have made it around. I have 13 half double crochets plus the 1 chain of 3. That should equal 14 of these pegs all the way around. You're going to insert your needle to the top of that chain. So there's 1, 2, 3. Insert right there. We're going to slip to join, chain 1, and we're fastening off this color. So that's round number 1, color number 1, done so soon. And to fasten off, you just pull that all the way through. And I'm not going to be sewing in my ends. I am just going to be crocheting over them with the next round. So this starting one, we can cut that off when we're done. Okay, so the next round we're going to move on to our next color. My next color is red. You're going to start the same way you did the last one with a slip knot. So, okay, so I'm going to choose a spot. Now this round is different from other types of crochet because instead of going into the stitch here, we're actually going to be going in through the space that's in between each one of these double crochets. So instead of aiming for this one, I'll show you. Instead of aiming for that, we're going to just go a little bit below it to this space that's right here. Insert your hook through that space. Add your loop to it, pull it through, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to be working a series of 2 double crochets through each one of these spaces. So I'm going to show you. There's one. This one counts as the first one. You're going to yarn over, insert through that space again, pull up a loop. You have 2 on your hook, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so again, I'm holding my working yarn, my tail end, I'm holding it with my work so that I don't have to weave it in later. And when we get around to where we fastened off, we'll include that into that round. Okay, so the next space, going into that space right there, you're gonna yarn over first, insert through this space, and you're gonna make 2 double crochets in that same space. There's 1, yarn over, insert through that space, pull up a loop. You should have 3, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so keep going between all of the spaces until you get to the end, and you're going to be slipping to join at the top there, and I'll meet you back in just a moment. Okay, so I have made it all the way around back to the start, and I'm going to slip into the top, chain to close. So here is my top here. Sorry, yarn over and slip through the first one, and don't yarn over again, just slip through the second one directly. Now, if you are a person who counts, you should have 14 of these V's all the way around, or a total of 28 double crochets. So you could count each one, or you could, I just counted the V's, so I made sure I have 14 V's all the way around. We're going to fasten off this round. All right, so that's 2 rounds. Already I'm excited, it's looking great. Grab your next color, and we're going to attach the same way we did the next round. We're going row 3, or round 3, starts with your next color, a slip knot, and you're going to be joining between the V's. So if you look where we just did those V's in the previous round, you're gonna look for a space between the 2 V's, and you're gonna insert your hook through the space. So again, we're not going into the stitch at the top, we're going into the space between the V's. So insert through there. Okay. Okay, so I have secured my yarn. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this space between the 2 V's, we're going to be doing 3 double crochets in each space. So there's 1 already. There's 2, and there is 3. Okay, move to the next V. So take a look. There's 2 stitches here. We're going to go past them into the next V space, or the space between 2 V's. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Keep going between all of these V's until you get back to the start. Again, you're going to have 14 of these three double crochets in those spaces. When you get back there, you're going to slip to join, and you're going to fasten off. Okay, so I have gotten to the end of my 3rd round. I'm back at the beginning where the chain is. I'm going to slip to join and chain 1 and fasten off. Oh, sometimes I like to go one extra. Okay, and then fasten off. Okay, so the fourth round of our owl is we're going to find a cluster of 3, and we're going to start by inserting our hook. This time we're going into the stitch as we would normally crochet. We're not going into the spaces anymore. So we're going to join to the top of the first of a cluster of 3. So insert your needle there with a slip knot, attach your yarn. I'm going to attach my, oops, that went funny. Attach your yarn and chain 2, 1, 2. This chain counts as a half double crochet in this round. So the next space is going to be 2 double crochets in the same space. 1, 2. 2 double crochets in the same space, followed by 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So here we go. 1 double crochet in the first one, 1 double crochet in the next one. Okay, and we're going to do 2 double crochet into the next one. 1 and 2. 2 double crochets into this one. Okay, next we're going to do 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. 1 double crochet into this stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and now we're going to do our last 2 double crochets into the same stitch. 1 and 2. Oh, my yarn is coming to be on camera. Okay. The last of this section is going to be a half double crochet. Half double crochet is yarn over, insert through the next stitch, and pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And there you have it. So it's a little bit shorter than a double crochet. Now for the rest of the stitches all the way around, it's just going to be a single crochet all the way around until you get back to the first starting chain. Okay, so I have made it all the way back with my single crochet stitches. I'm going to find the top of my chain and hook onto it right there. Just slip it. Okay. All right. So the next section, it's very short. It's just working on the and finishing up the top. You're going to chain 1 into this stitch. So just chain 1. And into the very next stitch right here, we're going to do an increase. So a two double crochets into that stitch. So here we go. 1 double crochet into this stitch, 2 double crochets into that same stitch. The next one is going to be 1 double crochet, this one's going to be a half double crochet. So yarn over, 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. This is followed by 3 single crochets. This is the top of his head. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and 1 half double crochet into this stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the next one, 1, 2, a half double crochet into this one here, half double crochet, yarn over, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. Then when you've gotten to this point, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to slip into the very next stitch. Slip it in, cut my yarn, and fasten off. Okay, so this is the front of your little owl. You need to have two of these. You need a front and a back, unless you want to make it a coaster. You could just make it a nice coaster if you wanted to. But in this case, we're making a little stuffy. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go on with the eyes. So what we're going to do is grab our yarn, make a slip knot. And so I'm using a cream color because I don't have any white. I'm working on another project and it's being used, so I can't do it. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then in the first chain right there, I'm going to do 11 half double crochet. So there's going to be 12 posts all the way around. We're going to do 11 half double crochet into the very first stitch. Here we go. So half double crochet, yarn over, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. Go again, yarn over, insert through the needle, through the stitch, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. Do that until you have a total of 11 plus 1 with the chain. Okay, so I have my 11 half double crochets and my chain. I'm going to close this up with a slip stitch on top of that chain, pull it through, chain 1 and pull it all the way through. Okay, so I am going to, now if you wanted to do the pupil, I'm going to embroider it on because I don't have any safety eyes and I don't have any kind of bead that would fit there. I'm grabbing my darning needle and I'm going to grab my black yarn and I'm going to do some stitching with the black in the inside to make the pupil. I grab my scrap of black yarn and my darning needle, and I'm going to just do some passes here. So through the back, sorry, I'll show it on camera, through the back. Now you could use a button here, you could use a bead, you can use yarn like I'm doing. It's really up to you. It's supposed to be kitschy, it's supposed to be kind of granny style, you know, it's supposed to be little cottage core. I'm not sure what cottage core is, but that's one of the words we're using now. Okay, so there is a little pupil. I could keep going and make it bigger. I kind of like it. I'm going to tie it off at the back. Just use the ends to tie them together. The end and the start. I'm just going to cut this off. Like again, we don't need to do too much weaving in because this is going to be sewn onto the body of the owl. Okay. Okay, so it is looking pretty good. I have one little eyeball done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one, and when you have your second one, meet me back here and we will assemble this together. Okay, so I have all my components available. My eyes are done. I'm going to attach them now. So in this location, you want it to kind of be at the top of the head and leaving space. We're going to be embroidering a beak once we're done attaching the eyes. So what you're going to do, I'll remove one. Now I didn't leave a very long tail, and I should have said that to you, but I didn't leave a long tail, but I'm going to make do with what I've got. And I'm just going to hold this in place here. And I'm going to do just basic sewing. I'm going to sew it on. Again, the goal is to make it look cottagey. It's supposed to be a cute little decoration. So perfection is, thank goodness, is not required. It's a granny owl is what we're calling it. So granny square type-ish owl. And we're just going to go all the way around, all the way through. Now, if I was making this an applique on a blanket, I might sew less ruthlessly. I might even, these bits of yarn, I didn't bother to weave them in or do anything special with them. I just clipped them off, made sure it was secure, clipped them off, and then and away I go. I'm not gonna waste time doing that. This is what makes this a nice fast project. Okay, I'm just gonna keep sewing all the way around. I'm almost there. Making sure everything is nice and secured. Rather ruthlessly jabbing my needle in there. It's good therapy. Okay. I'm just going to secure my yarn at the back here. Again, no one's going to see it, so we're just going to make sure it's tied nice and tight. Nothing's falling off. Clip off a little bit of the excess. You could go crazy and do more sewing and tying if you want, but like I said, ruthless. Okay, so there's one eyeball on. So the second one, we're gonna put roughly in the same spot, but on the opposite side. Our owl is almost there. We're gonna do a little beak, and then we're going to attach the backing and stuff it. So I'm just cutting off a length of my gold or yellow yarn, orange yarn, whatever you have for the beak. I'm gonna start between his eyes. So coming up just around the top of this dark blue part and down through by the second eye. I'm giving myself sort of like a lining. So, and then I'm going to let my beak kind of go all the way down to see where that 3 double crochet set is. Maybe I'm going to pick up some of this down here. Again, eyeball it. You're embroidering a face, so see what looks good to you. I'm going to go back down through this one. Oops. Now pull it through the back. Okay, it's looking good. Through this spot again. And join that V down there. Okay. You know, sometimes doing the embroidery part of these projects takes longer than the actual crocheting of them, because you know you want to get it right. You want it to look good to make a little beak. So my lighting has changed because my camera battery was dying, so I had to charge it. Okay. So just keep going back and forth here, trying to fill in that space for the beak. Okay, so there he is. He's got his little eyes, he's got his beak, and a very colorful tummy. The next step is to take the other side, sandwich it together, and I did leave a long thread on one of them so I could use it to sew. Now, if you didn't happen to do that, you can just attach the yarn how you would normally attach thread as if you were sewing. We're going to be sewing these with the wrong sides together, just going to over sew these ones together. So perfection, like I said, is not required. Okay, so I have my wrong sides lined up. I'm just going to start sewing together. Now you can do a whip stitch, you can do any kind of stitch that you like, an invisible join stitch. One strategy is to pick up one loop from one side and one loop from the other, and then sew them together like so. So pick up one loop from here, one loop from there. Again. So I don't know if you saw that. So one strategy for sewing is just to pick up one loop from one side and one loop from the other side and keep going on through there. Okay, so what you're going to do, just keep going all the way around. Make sure that you go all the way around and that you stop and stuff it before you close up that side. So, Okay, so I've gotten most of the way around my little owl friend, and I have added stuffing, and I've decided just to lightly stuff mine. I don't want it to be bulging. Great source for stuffing. Stuffing can be quite expensive. So what I do is I go to I don't know if this is legal or not, but I go to Walmart and I buy the $5 pillows, $5, and it's a bigger bag of polyfill. It's just kind of the same thing. It's a polyester fill. Sometimes it's off color. It's not bleached the same way as the stuff that you would get in regular craft polyfill. But I mean, it's the same texture, same quality. It's just not, it's not perfect. But it's clean. I only use brand new pillows. I open them up, I cut a hole in the top, and I just take the stuffing out of those and use it. It's much cheaper, much more affordable. I totally support using clean stuffing from any source that you can find. So mine is almost done. I just seamed up the side as I was chit-chatting there. I'm going to secure it, and then we're going to add some details onto the side with some little tufts of feathers. Okay, so for the little details, the tufts of hair, what I've done is I took some colors. I was debating whether just to use brown or pink or red or whatever, so I took all of them. The blue I'm leaving out. I think it's too intense for my owl. So I took the 3 strands. I'm going to be folding them in half, and the hook is just going to be helping me here. So I'm going to find roughly the corner, stick it through. I'm pulling through, sorry, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. So I've stuck it through the rough corner. I'm going to, these are folded over. I'm going to insert them or put them on my hook, pull through that corner, and then I'm going to see, you know what, I won't use the hook, I'll just use it as a guide. So I'm pulling the loop out, I'm going to reach through and grab and pull. Okay, so obviously that's too long for a tuft of hair. I'm going to trim it to my style, nice and short. I like short feathers on my owls. There's one little tuft of hair, little feather coming out. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'll see if I can make the best of the scraps that I've already cut. Okay, same thing. So find the corner-ish over here. Let's see if I can pick up a little bit less. Okay, find the corner-ish over here. Fold over your yarn. Okay, I'm gonna remove my hook. This one's a tight one because I made the bits too short. There we go. Gently guide them through the hole and pull them tight so that they don't get away. Let's even that out a bit. Side. Okay, oh my goodness, it's so adorable. Okay, there's my finished owl. I'm gonna move all my scraps out of the way so it looks nice and pretty. Okay, there's my finished owl. She's got a very cute face, or he. I'm not gonna assume the gender. So there's the really adorable kitschy owl that we have made. Again, I didn't aim for perfection. Everything is just so cute and adorable. And my daughter, I'm going to give it to my daughter. She's going to love it. So I hope that you joined me. I hope that you did this project with me, and that you have your nice little owl to give to a kid or just to keep for yourself. Why not? Thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, join me on the very next project we're going to do. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone who's subscribed already. There's a lot of new subscribers, and you know, only crochet love. Here's a crochet love owl.